So I don't know if you can tell, but the scenery has changed around here a little bit, quite dramatically, which is great because it gives me the final test of this treaded tire. And of course, in this case, I'm talking about the Hoosier 10.5-inch treaded tire for the Onewheel Pint. I picked mine up from the fine folks over at Craft and Ride, and I'm sure they'd be happy to hook you up with one too. I'll have a link to their website in the show notes below. The whole plan was, originally when I bought this treaded tire, is, you know, living in Canada and expecting the type of seasons we have, half the year I get snow and ice on the roads. So in order to get my Onewheel fixed, look at this. I don't know if I'm going to get by this. I'll just go this way. In order to get my Onewheel fixed, I figured the only way to do that was going to be have a treaded tire because I needed a bit more traction in order to ride on the ice and snow. Oh man, I love it when I get to open pavement. Whew! Carving. So I learned some things with this tire. I learned primarily that the Onewheel, when you can't carve, is just not as fun. And that's the problem with ice and snow. Here, I'm just gonna ride by Bruce here. Unfortunately, the ride quality of the board on the ice and snow is just not as good as it is in the summertime. I mean, it's okay, but it's not a very comfortable ride. You're kind of always expecting to slip and fall because of the way the physics works with the Onewheel. As soon as it loses traction, I mean, you go down, right? That's how the board works. It's how it stays balanced. And when it's icy, you never know when that's going to happen. When you have a car or even a bicycle, you can rely on that second wheel to maybe grab traction, but with the Onewheel, geez, you feel like you're taking your life in your own hands when you ride in the wintertime. That's the big takeaway. So when I first put on the treaded tire, there was no snow or ice, so I got a good couple weeks on the tire before we had our first snow. And man, the difference between a slick tire and the treaded tire was unbelievable. Like, the way you're able to carve so much deeper and with more confidence with the treaded tire. And then also like the terrains, the loose gravel, the grass, all of it. It's just all better and easier. Better than I expected. So if that's your riding terrain, the ride quality improved significantly. But there was a pretty significant cost to that. And as you can see, I'm riding a Pint. And the big thing about the Pint, as we all know if we're Pint riders, is the range is not great. And as soon as you throw a treaded tire on, you lose a significant part of your range. I was getting up here about 9 kilometers per battery. I mean, I'm a bigger guy, about 200 pounds. And, you know, that's decent. 9 kilometers, I mean, by the time you get done a ride where you deplete your whole battery, you're kind of ready for a break anyways. But as soon as I put this treaded tire on and took it for a spin up here, I only get about 5.7 to 6 kilometers. So that's like a 25 to 30% hit in battery life. On top of a battery that's already fairly short distance, I think that for most people, for most people, the advantage of the treaded tire is not worth it. I would steer most people towards an aftermarket slick that improves your range when you're dealing with a Pint, because that's really its weak point. So, I mean, maybe I'll have another video in the future where I talk about how I've gotten used to it and how awesome it is in the snow. I know Scott Mendel on his channel talks about how winter's like his favorite time to ride.
It's one of my favorite times of the year to ride.
Got me stoked. But then I came out here myself and I got let down, man. I got let down big time. But in the end, I still do get to ride my one wheel around. In some ways, that's as good as you could hope for. So my plan with this tire is I'm actually going to keep it on here, try to wear down the tread, see if that some of that range starts to come back, because then I figure then I have the best of both worlds. Smoother tire that's better on the asphalt and the paved roads, but also I have the traction if I want to go on the trail. So I'll have an update to my review soon to come on my channel. Maybe you want to subscribe, hear about that in the future. That would be much appreciated. I hope some of you got something out of this. If you liked what you saw, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and until next time, I'll see you on the next video. See ya.